I got to analyze with Magnus also.
Oh my.
Uh,
And you analyzed for 50 minutes, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken.
that was amazing. That in itself was a huge learning experience for me because
Exactly.
yeah, because it was not only like we were just discussing the game, we were just checking during one of the lines we entered a theoretical endgame,
Hmm.
and we were just analyzing the theoretical endgame, and obviously Magnus uh, is like the best guy you can analyze an endgame with. So
This
I
one, yes, some
yeah.
pictures here also. If I and the nice thing is at the end of it, he was also happy, you were also
Mm,
happy.
yeah.
What I felt, and maybe this is my, I was not in Vaikanse, I would have loved, I would have actually put a camera and recorded those 50 minutes of your analysis. But I felt like Magnus wanted to know you better, and he was happy to sort of, and I think you of course were learning a lot from him, and so you also were enjoying. Was that kind of the thing you felt?
Not sure about him,
Mm.
but I surely enjoyed it massively, and it was super instructive also. But yeah, during the analysis, he was like very friendly,
Mm.
uh, and he was like it felt like he was also teaching me some things.
Mm.
Like he was making me understand some positions better. Like uh, he was during the game. I thought that. After I got bishop d6, bishop g3, I thought I had to get c5 to
Le-
fully equalize.
le-
So around this point, I told Magnus that I thought I had to get c5 to fully equalize,
Mm.
and then he was saying you don't really have to get c5 in this kind of structures, and he showed me some examples. Like
Maybe you
he
can go
said,
like rook b8 and stuff like that.
yeah, he said rook b8
Oh.
was the uh, he had a very similar game also. So you're saying the best plan in these structures is to go rook b8, c6, knight c4, and stuff like that. So
Because it's the best engine line, yeah. Like I was, when I was
yeah,
commentating, I was like rook b8, knight c4. But I
mhm,
felt like what you did was very human, like c5.
yeah. So when I told him that, see, I thought I had to get c5 to equalize. He said, yeah, in these structures it's not really important. So that was something I was very surprised with, and
Mm.
yeah, it was nice to get all these insights.
Yeah, I mean, in this particular game itself, you kind of out prepared him, which is very
Yes.
interesting because when you are playing Ragozin, which is your main line, you it's scary. Yes, you're facing the world champion who is known, who has a great team for preparation. Peter Heine Nielsen with him, and you're
Yeah.
still going on and playing the Ragozin. That's bold.
Yes.
Did you not worry like, okay, let me try and play something else or like that?
uh, yeah, I did prepare Ragozin. I've been playing Ragozin all, I mean, most of uh, my career, and I I I prepared prepared Ragozin for Vike also.
Right.
So I was confident in my lines. Although had two bad games against Anish and Fabi
Hmm.
in Ragozin, I still thought I'll stick to my preparations. So,
Fantastic. Did you feel like Magnus's bishop h4 provoking f6 was something?
yeah. So during the game, again, this was also a very nice moment because uh, no, he said rook f d8 was a mistake. I thought it like I didn't even spend much time there, and even after the game, I didn't realize that it was anything serious. But he said that f6 is a serious weakening move,
Oh,
and later he got chances because of the
exactly.
f6 move.
h4 h5,
Yeah,
trying for creating light square weaknesses.
he said that for now, uh, both of us have one weakness, which is the d5 pawn and the c3 pawn, and he's desperately looking for another weakness, which I gave him with rook f d8. Yeah, bishop h4 is slight weakening of my king.
So you are saying that if you had gone, let's say, rook f e8, then perhaps if he goes bishop h4, you don't need to play f6. You can just go queen e6.
Yeah, probably I can just move my queen.
That's the point. Okay.
So yeah, it was nice to see how he even appreciates this
Little
like very
nuances.
very tiny nuances. Huh?
And then came this critical moment where he played e4 after a long
Mhm.
think, and
Yeah.
was very impressive that you quickly went knight c4. You did not even I mean, of course you would see that de4 rook g3, but
Yes.
uh, there was queen g4
Yeah.
also. And
I considered queen g4, and later Magnus told me that he was worried of this move.
mm,
But like I didn't really believe that this could work.
right.
I saw queen b6, d4, and I was a bit scared of like rook e3, queen f4, something like g3.
Sorry,
Uh,
queen g4.
queen b6,
Queen b6, queen f4.
d4. I think queen f4 will go rook d5.
Yeah, and then he's better, so he has
Yeah.
to play, you have to play de.
So d4 and rook e3,
Yeah.
queen f4. Yeah, here I was kind of worried of queen b7 or g3, some stuff like that. But later I realized that it was not much. And
Was fine for you.
yeah, it was fine for me. But during the game, I was not sure.
Mm.
So I didn't even consider queen g4 very seriously. I thought knight c4 I had to play.
Yes, yes, and you played it, and here was a very nice point, which I'm sure you would not have ever fallen into it, but you guys actually analyzed this line, which was interesting, Queen B7,
How did you know?
because in your post game interview you mentioned something like he had not seen a line Queen
Yeah, yeah,
C1
yeah.
or something, and I was like,
Yeah,
where exactly? And then I reconstructed it that way.
yeah.
So I guess it was
So
rook b8.
so during the game, we both obviously calculated queen b7.
Yeah.
But Magnus stopped after queen b7, rook b8, queen a6, rook b1, king h2, queen h4, rook h3, queen f2. But he missed that here. Queen d3 was winning for me.
Ah.
So,
But you know the
uh,
funny thing that I saw, and maybe not I, but the engine saw that this is not winning for white.
really?
Yes, because somehow after rook e2, it's not, it's actually equal,
Oh,
because queen h7, king f7.
wow.
And I was like, okay, maybe Magnus missed, but it was amazing. You saw queen d3.
Yeah, but I missed rook a2.
Yeah, but I think there is another also like there are two, three defensive ideas here. One is queen g1, king g3, f5, which is also equal somehow.
I take rook e3.
Yeah, if you take then h6 somehow. I don't know. I have
Oh.
not analyzed this deeply as to why not first h6 and why here.
Okay, I got the point. So, if h6 directly, then rook h6.
Uh,
But if f5, queen f5, h6, then I think rook e3 is there. But okay, this is too much.
Rook. Oh my God, rook e3, and if you take here,
But still,
queen
king g4.
king g4, queen e2, king g3,
And
queen
this is a
e3.
perpetual. Oh,
Yeah, so somehow there was this, and the other thing which I was just like for fun just seeing was, if you take here, this is a
yeah, this
nice.
is what I was intending to do.
Yes, really, not here. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Maybe after rook b8, queen h4.
Yeah,
No?
because here this is a
But here
beautiful,
rook d4.
very
Yeah.
nice trap, and the fun nice thing is rook b8, queen b8, queen d4, and
Queen
now
d3.
queen b3, very important, and white wins.
Yeah.
So this was very cool. But what I really liked is how you here at this point found these little moves like queen e6, queen
Hmm.
f5, and I think you just equalized it very well.
Yeah, it was like, it looked uh, bit dangerous for black with all these rooks and threats on the king side. But once I spotted queen f5, I realized that. shouldn't really be much for
Right.
white. And he actually missed his queen. He said queen f5 idea. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, there was a so this was a great game
But
against
in the
the
end, there was a very interesting line actually.
really okay.
Yeah. So this is where we were spending a lot of time. So in the end game,
Ah, yes, 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 yes. Where you could have played on, yes.
yeah, I could have played on, mm, but we found a draw actually.
Rook
A5,
d4.
rook d5. Yeah.
Yeah, here.
I think instead of A2, I could play rook E7.
Correct.
And Magnus thought during the game that he could go rook F7,
Hmm. Rook
rook
d7.
D7, rook D7,
Right. A2.
A2. He
Rook
thought bishop
B8.
A1 was just nothing, but then I have rook B8.
Ah, rook b8 wins for you.
Yeah,
So rook
wins,
d1 forced,
probably
right?
wins.
Sorry, what?
Yes,
Wins is bit too much, yes?
probably wins.
Ah, wins, yeah.
Yeah.
So rook
So
d1,
rook D1, we were discussing this, but we thought this is some pressure for white. I mean for black. Rook C8.
rook c8.
Take the C4 pawn, keep the
Right.
A pawn, and there is some pressure.
But take here, right this way, right?
Yeah.
And you know, the engine gives this very interesting line, which I was very shocked.
Bishop
Maybe not.
G7.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
this,
okay.
and it says 0.00. I don't know if that is true.
Oh, is this? Is it draw?
It it says it's a draw, but should be right because of the wrong color pawn.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe to take the F2 pawn, you need to give up the rook.
Hmm. And the thing is, if you don't do this, like you don't take on g7, then maybe black goes rook a4 and keeps pressing for some
Yeah,
time.
but later Magnus said that like after rook e7,
Hmm. Here, yeah.
yeah. Uh, at first he was not sure, but then he thought rook f8 should also probably make a draw. King f8,
Hmm.
bishop b4,
Hmm.
a2, rook e7, a1, rook e1, king g8, rook a1, rook a1, king h2, rook a4, and here,
Bd to b3 or
yeah, bishop d2, rook c4. I think we saw f4, but then there was rook c6,
ah,
f5, rook c5, and g4, rook c2. So he couldn't keep the pawn.
ah.
But then he saw, but then he said that bishop d2, bishop e3 also should be a draw.
You mean even if
But
you
he was not,
win the g6 pawn?
yeah. But then he was not very sure, but he said it should be. And then we were analyzing like what happens without the h and g pawns and without the h and f pawns and all those stuff.
It's like Dvoretsky Endgame manual coming to life. You know, you can read it from book,
Yeah,
but here you have the greatest Endgame player with whom you
yeah,
can discuss things. You know what I enjoyed a lot was that the moment the game got over, you quickly asked Magnus that shall we go and analyze? And as you said in the interview, that
yeah. I had
even if
already
I
planned it.
even if I lose, I'm going to
Yeah,
ask him for an interview.
for
Sorry, for
analysis.
an analysis, correct.
Yeah,
For an interview is me always. But
yeah.
yeah, very cool. So here it ended in a draw. Awesome. So this was a very, I would say, maybe your favorite game from this uh, entire
Probably,
13
yeah,
rounds.
probably. But that doesn't like it was not a very good game, but I mean, from the games that I played, I think this was the best.
It also is the first ever classical game with Magnus and the world
Yeah,
champion and the highest rated player. And so, I mean, in that sense, it was very special.
yes, sure.